for joining us.
Mr. Vice President.
Sir,
Casey.
Casey Durston, Director of Field Operations. Thanks so much for coming. Really appreciate
Casey,
it.
thank you. Thanks for your great leadership here.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Vital port.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Vice President, nice to meet you. My name is Adam Rotman. I'm the area port director for the Port of Baltimore.
Great.
Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, good to meet you. You do a great job here.
So, Mr. Vice President, Casey and Adam are going to show you a little bit and speak to you a little bit about some of the latest technology that we have and that the officers utilize here to inspect some of the cargo that we deem to be of greater risk, and that we've actually targeted and tried to identify and mitigate some of the threats that they may cause. So, please, Casey.
Yes, sir. This is a Gemini, and this allows our officers to identify over 14,000 different types of chemical compounds very swiftly. They can utilize this laser device here, and in a matter of seconds, it can identify 14,000 different types of chemical compounds, which can be done safely and effectively. We can also do this in a hermetically sealed environment to protect our officers. Very swift identification for items such as fentanyl and other dangerous narcotics.
This was the technology, Mr. Vice President, that we have procured in mass in our battling the fentanyl epidemic. And so in the last year and a half, we've deployed these throughout all our mail facilities, our express consignment facilities.
Was this involved in the major apprehension seems like a week or so back?
This would have been utilized by the officers to not only, not necessarily identify the targeting of the shipment, but to validate the presence of the fentanyl as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Presumptively identify it on site.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So all along the southern border, all along our facilities and the cargo environments here in Baltimore, these have been deployed.
And very effective.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
One of the things that makes this so unique is the old testing, you'd have to take the substance out of the packaging and handle it. With this, you can use this laser and it'll shoot through the packaging. So you don't have to actually take the chemicals out of the packaging.
Yeah, great.
So it's really safe for our officers to use.
Great. Good. What's this?
This is a Hurasius. This allows our officers, this is a handheld scanning device, and it has the capability to x-ray immediately with a holder, and you can hold it and you can look just like this, and it scans the item from here. This can penetrate. It's very helpful in general aviation for aircraft. Things that are harder to scan. And so you can see here in just some of these photos,
Just
these are some
examples?
scans. Yes, sir.
Where you see a firearm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're very good at this, sir.
Yeah. There's an example you're saying of a firearm.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is a firearm that was detected. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing technology.
And one that our officers can carry with them. They don't need the larger devices. They carry this with them, and they can inspect immediately upon arrival.
That's amazing. And how many have you deployed?
We have one here in the sports room.
This is brand new technology. These are the
Sorry, go ahead.
Watch your steps.
Huh? Oh, yeah. We just needed him to get down the steps.
Is that right?
We have been here in some iteration since then. These
You want to talk about
These are examples of what we call cold hits, meaning we didn't have any intelligence on them. These were strictly done by our officers examining documents that were turned in titles, and they were found to be fraudulent counterfeit titles from various states. This one here was manifested as...
So they were shipping out?
Absolutely. Going to West Africa.
So stolen vehicles coming through, being shipped out.
Yeah, we're number 2 in the nation last year. We're looking to be number 1 in the nation this year.
We're going to get there. Yeah. And you can see, sir, too, I mean, they will throw in all sorts of junk and all sorts of other types of things to distract us from identifying the vehicle. But through the use of technology, they're able to see
This here is Agriculture Specialist Morris and Supervisor Lesson.
Appreciate it.
They'd love to tell you a little bit about this container here and agriculture intersection you got on it.
So this is aluminum from India. It's a very high-risk manufacturer for us. We find a lot of actual aluminum seeds, mainly in products, raw sugar cane, and raw sugar cane. It's basically stuck to the packing material, stuck to the floor, the outside of the container, and it's based on where the factory is located overseas. This one's the second most high-risk manufacturer. Comes into these instructions for Africa.
Mr. Morrison, explain a little bit of what you mentioned about some of the findings of how invasive that is.
So this is the main seed that we're finding on this shipment, and this is a wild sugar cane, which is a tall grass, about 6 feet tall, and basically it comes in when it's established overseas. They basically give up those farm lands. They simply don't allow it anymore because of miners to go under the ground and keep it land. Plus, each plant produces about 5,000 of these seeds every year. So it's a small invasive grass. Ability to do agriculture.
Sir, Agriculture Specialist Morris has the most actionable pest interceptions in all of the nation. He's leading the nations.
Big deal.
And that's the critical part of the mission. Huge industry in the United States. Those folks need to absolutely phenomenal. Okay.
This here is Chief Mobley.
Hey, Chief, how you doing? So what are we doing? We're good?
So build your mouth.
Yeah. Stay. Stay. Woo! Good boy! Good boy! Good boy, Tommy. Good boy. Boy. Good job.
So United.
Who's this?
This is it's a 7-year-old Belgian Malinois.
Can I pet him?
Yeah. Let me get the count from him.
Huh?
I just don't want him to mistake your.
In case he thinks I'm in town.
Yeah. Out. Out. Good boy. Good boy. Out. Good boy. Out.
I got a dog just like that. So what did he do here?
That's as you noticed when he came around, this change in behavior, which is
Stop.
the alert,
Position?
and then his response is to sit down.
Yeah.
In which box is it in?
It's in the FedEx box.
So what did he pick up?
He's trained on marijuana, hashish, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, ecstasy, fentanyl, and he's also trained for concealed humans. Philadelphia, I'm from Philadelphia. Last summer we had one of the largest, well, the second largest now, fentanyl seizures up there. It was in air cargo. It was in drums coming from China.
Yeah.
One of our other canine handlers, the one that actually found it.
Dog got it.
Yes. And recently, sir, I was requested to assist DEA and the postal inspectors to search some domestic boxes. And the stuff's at the lab now, but they believe it to be pills that are ketamine and fentanyl, that the person that's shipping them and selling them is He's saying they're Oxycontins, but they're actually fentanyl. And he's sending them around the country. So that's part of a larger investigation.
Yeah, it's great.
So I have one of Robbie's cards for you.
He's got cards?
Yes, he does.
I got a trading card. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Do I have trading cards? Give this man a coin. Well, he gave me a card. That's great.
Thank you. Appreciate it, sir. Nice to meet you.
Keep up the great job.
Thank you.
Vitally important for the country.
Good boys on.
Okay. Great.
This is a demonstration of our non-intrusive inspection technology.
How are you? Nice. Thank you. Nice to meet you, sir. You bet. Tell me what we're working on here.
Media matter systems, sensor systems for scanning containers, reporting about 5 days on the operator, the driver, and safety, drive up and down, and take X-ray images of the vehicles, containers. Yes, sir. Stationary, that's a demonstration here. The truck will stay still, wait for the container to drive through.
So these are stolen cars.
Stolen cars can be any product from that. I have a sign that you can call me and show you what image you like, or it's the same image you like. You see right here, so that's kind of like what we're seeing here. So you can back up because the cars are
Yeah.
stolen. Won't tell us it's stolen, but a lot of times it's just graphic saying, so let's just man look at it. So it's a Ford, it's a SUV, high end, and we're uh-oh, it's not the same car. And then
Really?
over here,
So they'll discern from the manifest if it doesn't look like the vehicle that's on the manifest.
exactly. That we have operators that it's impressive how they train. That's not all. So it's just or it's the same car. It's a we have to look here.
That's great. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah. We're good. Okay. Thanks, sir.
It's only one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Commissioner for Customs and Border Protection, Robert Perez.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Port of Baltimore. I'm Robert Perez, the Deputy Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I'd just like to take a moment to recognize all the CBP employees here, to express to each and every one of you my genuine and utmost gratitude for what you do every day to secure our nation, pursuing the also critical national security mission of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. In addition, I'd like to also recognize you for your patience, your perseverance through this last month and a half and the particularly challenging time that we all experienced during that time frame. You all conducted yourselves with the utmost professionalism, and like you do every day, you got the job done. So on behalf of the Commissioner and myself, thank you. It is my absolute privilege and my absolute honor to be here with you today with a very special guest, someone who has been a longtime supporter of this agency from his days in Congress, and certainly right now in the current capacity that he continues to serve the greatest nation on earth. Again, it is my utmost honor and privilege to introduce to all of you the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner Perez. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for your service to the nation. Will you all join me in thanking the Deputy Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection for the United States of America, Mr. Robert Perez. Thank you for all you do. To Director Rodman, Director Durst, to my friend Congressman Andy Harris, to all of you serving here at the Port of Baltimore in Customs and Border Protection. It is a great, great honor to be here with all of you today to say a very simple thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank for all you do every day to ensure the flow of commerce and ensure the safety and security of the American people. Let's give CBP a round of applause here at the Port of Baltimore. It is remarkable to think about how long the Port of Baltimore has played a role in the life of this nation since even before this nation was founded. It continues to play a vital role. The commerce of our nation today, and all of you involved in Customs and Border Protection here at the Port of Baltimore play a vital role in ensuring that commerce happens in a way that protects the interests and the well-being of the American people. And before I get started, let me bring greetings. For all the good words that the Deputy Commissioner said about me, let me bring greetings from a friend of mine, a great admirer of Customs and Border Protection, and a man who is absolutely committed to ensuring the safety, security of the American people and protecting the homeland and standing with all who protect it. I bring greetings from the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. The work you do here every day saves lives, but we also recognize that you're on the front lines. The risks that you take in enforcing our laws sometimes comes with the ultimate price. And let me say with the Deputy Commissioner here, we today join our hearts and our prayers with the family of Border Patrol Agent Donna Dawes. She'll be laid to rest this afternoon in Taylor County, Texas. For the tragic accident that claimed her life on duty is a reminder that all of you who serve, all of you who wear the uniform of Customs and Border Protection, do so in no small way that reflects that you put our lives ahead of your own. And so we remember her family today. As I said, I'm here to say thank you, but also here to learn more about the work that each and every one of you do. The briefing that I just received from the senior leadership here was very impressive and a reminder of how you bring state-of-the-art technology and time-honored, tried and true methods to ensure that the commerce that flows here legally and flows here in a way that doesn't threaten the well-being of the American people. President Trump laid out a vision this last Tuesday before the Congress of the United States and the American people. He laid out a vision that we might choose American greatness. And let me say, each one of you have already made that choice. And I'm here to recognize that the state of our union is strong. The state of our union is safe because of the work of Customs and Border Protection. And you have our thanks. You know, the President and I, and frankly all of the American people, couldn't be more grateful for the work that you do every day. And you don't hear that thanks often enough, I expect. The character of all of you who wear the uniform came into high relief, particularly over the last month when the President took such a strong stand for border security and we saw a government shutdown for 35 days. We're grateful to all the federal employees and their families who continue to work during this difficult time. But standing before all of you, let me say we're particularly grateful today to the men and women of CBP, DHS. You all stood tall. You stayed on your watch in the midst of that shutdown. You stayed on mission. And I want to say thank you to you and your families for standing your post and never letting down during those days. As the Congress continues to negotiate, even at this very hour, about funding our Department of Homeland Security, this very agency, and your efforts, I want to promise you, the President and I are going to continue to work tirelessly to get you the resources and the support that you need to accomplish that mission for the sake of all of the American people. The men and women of DHS know firsthand how vitally important this mission is, and particularly those of you who work every day in Customs and Border Protection. You see firsthand the transnational criminal organizations in Mexico and Central America, the drug cartels that fuel their deadly trades, represent unquestionably one of the greatest national security and public health threats in the United States of America. Last year, Customs and Border Protection seized more than 827,000 pounds of illegal drugs entering our country just at our southern border alone. Mexican and Central American drug cartels are the main wholesale providers of drugs to street gangs and dealers, and their deadly trade brings suffering to millions of American families. As the President said this past Tuesday, as you know full well, tens of thousands of innocent Americans are killed by illegal drugs that cross into our border, flood into our cities. 300 Americans die every week from heroin, 90% of which comes across our southern border, but all told in the efforts reflected here. Nevertheless, nearly 200 people in America lose their lives to drug overdose every single day. The mission that you perform here and the President's determination to secure our southern border has an enormous impact on the well-being of the American people, the safety and security of our communities and our families. And I have to tell you, seeing the work that you do here and seeing the cutting-edge technology that you utilize gives me great confidence that as we continue to support your work, we will continue to confront the flow of illegal drugs into America as never before. Cutting-edge technologies that I just was briefed on that detect and seize contraband brought into the country. It's remarkable to think of that non-intrusive inspection technology I just looked over. Large-scale X-ray and gamma ray imaging, allowing you to look into shipping containers and commercial trucks. And I have to tell you, I just mentioned the director, I was so impressed that your training is so precise that you'll look at the manifest, and if the X-ray scan doesn't actually look like the vehicle that's described on the manifest, you'll begin the inspection. Now, that's an attention to detail that would inspire any American. Portable and handheld devices that allow you to make sure that smaller contraband in cars and on individuals is caught as well. These technologies we know are force multipliers. And last year they helped you stop nearly 250,000 pounds of narcotics from entering the country, as well as $1 million in foreign currency. That is a record of success the Port of Baltimore CBP should be proud of, and so are we. Now, we also are impressed that by the time honored tradition, just diligence, carefulness. And I also witnessed the highly trained canine teams that are utilized here. They even got a playing card from Zombie. And I have to tell you, seeing the way that these canines are capable of detecting even the faintest signs of deadly drugs, radioactive materials, and stowaways is impressive indeed. And Customs and Border Protection has been in the forefront of canine training in detection from the very beginning. In fact, CBP just announced the largest fentanyl bust in history at the Nogales Port of Entry in Arizona. Thanks to CBP's canine team, we prevented more than 250 pounds of fentanyl from entering our country and flooding our streets. That would be enough fentanyl to kill nearly 1/3 of the population of the United States. I think that's worth a round of applause for Customs and Border Protection. You know, the old book says, if you owe debts, pay debts. If honor, then honor. If respect, then respect. And I hope if you hear nothing more from me today, you hear us here to pay a debt of honor and a debt of respect to all of you who put in the long hours and do the tireless work that is saving lives. Whether it makes the front page of the newspaper or not, I want you to know from the President on down, we know that your work here is vital to the safety and security of the American people, even as you facilitate the flow of commerce in our growing economy. And we're truly grateful. The truth, though, is today your jobs are as difficult and dangerous as ever with the security and humanitarian crisis that we face at our southern border. Every day that our southern border remains unsecured gives the very criminal syndicates and drug traffickers that you confront literally in the form of contraband and illegal drugs every day here in the Port of Baltimore. It gives them more resources and more ability to peddle their poison, destroy American lives and families. Now, I want to assure you that you have the support of this President and our entire administration and of the American people as you go about your task. And I want to make you a promise. I want to make you a promise that we're going to continue. We're going to continue to work to secure our border, north, south, east, and west. When it comes to our southern border, as the negotiations continue, we will not rest, we will not relent until our Customs and Border Protection have the technology, the personnel, and the barriers required to secure our border. We're going to build that wall one way or another. I promise you. So thank you for the work you do here today. Thank you for taking time away from your busy work day to give me such a warm welcome. I look forward to being able to meet as many of you as time permits. But I really came here to learn more, but also to say thanks, assure you of our ongoing support, and I'll assure you of one other thing. You know, each and every day you put on that uniform, we know it's no ordinary job. You come here at the Port of Baltimore, and the nation is safer because of your diligence and your commitment. So I want you to know that you have the gratitude, and I'm confident the prayers of the American people. as you stand in the gap for the safety and security of our people and our families and our communities. And on behalf of our President and on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to say to all of you who work so diligently every day here at the Port of Baltimore, keep up the good work, stay focused on your task at hand, know that the American people are with you, and we're going to continue to fight to give you the resources you need to accomplish that mission, and we will confront illegal drugs and all of its consequences as never before. And with your help and with God's help, we will make great progress in this nation. We will save lives, and America will be safer than ever before. Thank you very much. God bless you in your work, and God bless the United States of America.
John? Gotta stay here, guys.